about the security cameras and to reestablish them as a priority at this time.
So that's what the recommendation comes
Yes.
from the committee to recommend to the board for that to be a priority. Is there any discussion on that matter?
I think in light of some of the events over the past year, that seems like a really good idea. We know we've got more people coming in and out in lower traffic times, when it might be good to just have a record of that.
Crystal, any thoughts on that?
No, I agree with Carl. Like so many issues that we've experienced this year that it's probably good time to revisit this issue.
And Vicki and Samantha were a part of that committee, so anything they want to add to that?
I was unaware that you couldn't really tell who was coming in, this whole week. You could tell who it was, if somebody was coming in.
The system is
It's
6 to 8 years, yeah.
Mhm.
It makes a big difference in technology, that's
Right,
it's a century
right.
in technology, so.
Yeah. Well, and it won't be just the cameras.
Yeah.
Storage, it'll
Exactly.
be, I mean, the whole system upgrade will improve several things, I would think.
Make it easier for staff to be able to access
Right.
the software.
So if
And
there's.
especially in light of the fact that we've identified a way to pay for it.
I was gonna say, especially we
That's
can tweak in
Um,
that area.
Shift things around a
You
little
know,
bit.
this isn't just an additional item, this is us getting that pickle, as Mr. Nebraska
Yeah.
back out of the rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Right, right.
So,
We also did indicate that there's only certain people that can view security tapes, and it's not
Yeah.
people that can.
that's, so I would entertain a motion to accept that recommendation from the Building and Grounds Committee to make a security system replacement a priority.
I so moved.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor of that, and that will be, because there will be some money
money
involved.
involved.
That will be a
I'll
roll
go
call.
with Crystal?
Aye.
Aye.
Vicki? Samantha?
Aye.
Tricia?
Aye.
And Sharon?
That motion carries. Thank
Very
you.
good, thank you.
Anything else? Any other questions
Right, from the
from the
building and grounds. When we will be meeting, we will be going forward with attempting to look at landscape issues and who and where. We're looking for some donations, voluntary things, et cetera, so that we don't have to just presume that, you know, we would pay for all of it, but that will be done in May because our spring season is upon us.
We go again.
One would.
Hopefully, yes.
At least every once in a while it pops out.
Okay, and you will talk with Julie about setting up finance.
Yes, I will.
And see if that will work at the beginning of that. Okay. Library Director's Report.
Yep. Do you have any questions from Julie's report? Any concerns? The only thing I would add is, you know, we rolled out the brand this week and it's going really, really well. Everyone's loving their magnets and their new Access Pass library cards. It's going, you know, really well. People have really enjoyed the changes to the website. A lot of the comments are that it looks modern, it looks sophisticated and bright and happy. So those are all really, really good things. So we're feeling really good about
Good.
the new brand. So.
I would like to comment that in reading through the different reports, I just was ecstatic as I was reading under the youth services and some of the ideas that came. So that
From
we know,
PPL.
from people who attended the meeting in Indianapolis, I thought that some of the things that they picked up and some have already been implemented, it certainly says that that was a worthwhile adventure
Definitely.
for the staff members who went, and I was really delighted to read the summaries that they brought back. So they are appreciated.
Yeah, I'll make sure they know it.
As well as the monthly reports. Some of them
Yes.
just astound me. I think Michelle will know what she's going to do about
All the databases.
databases and
Yes.
making sure that she's getting. I said, I read that report, it made me tired. to think
Yes.
about how much time
Yes.
I spent on that because it
It is
was
impressive.
a huge job and very impressive. As are all of them, but that
Yes.
one this time just kind of wowed me. So. And I think Dr.
Okay, thank you.
Let's see, anything else on those pages, 40, 41? Anything else on those that you would like to
Well,
add?
you know, I made myself a note, but I don't know what PLA highlights meant. I wanted,
Well,
You
that
said
was
it.
what you just said.
yes, I know, but
Yeah.
other than that, there
Oh.
was some other
Oh,
thing.
oh,
oh.
But whatever it was, I'm sure it was a positive, it was not a negative.
Any questions about the loan situation,
Yeah.
or any,
We've not-
anything more information
No.
about that?
No, but Julie will be asking for some authorization in the action items. You know, not to exceed.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that falls under her expense.
Right.
So
Right.
she has already
Okay.
approved for that, isn't, unless
No,
it should
she was
go-
just gonna
Yep, to
make sure
yeah.
you have a formal authorization for her to proceed
After
if
having
necessary.
read, and maybe you could share that with Julie if she didn't note it, but after having read the Tribune and all of the pieces of what Walgreen is proposing
Uh-huh.
to do, I am even more supportive of, as long as it doesn't cost us a fortune, of our proceeding with this.
Right.
Because I do believe that, you know, there's a bigger issue in terms of corporate taxes for the United States and all this kind of thing, but I think we could be easily one of those scapegoats, and I think it would be unfair.
Totally. So, good.
Yeah, but this is gonna be ongoing.
Yeah.
I think this is gonna be
The
one of
norm.
those that's gonna kind of set the tone for our
Other
more of
Taking
these
over
going
all over the
to.
country.
Yeah.
Oh.
On that note.
Okay. Anything else?
Sorry,
Lisa?
reality.
Nope. That was it.
Have there been any glitches with the rollout this week?
No.
Good.
The only thing, you know, we're catching up on all the signage.
Mhm.
Signs by Tomorrow is redoing all of our directional signs. We should have those up by the end of the week. But it's amazing just how many different places we find our logo. So
Oh,
it's going to
sure.
take a long time to, you know, to replace all of those, but it's going really well.
Is there a plan for the old, for instance, stationary?
Yes, we are recycling all of that. We're gonna recycle it in ways that we've saved all the stationery.
Yeah.
We're gonna use
So
it for scrap
non-public stuff,
paper.
yeah.
We'll use it for, you know, we're really good about being
Great.
green about all that stuff,
Good,
yeah.
good.
So we're looking at ways to do even projects for the crafts for the kids,
Right.
using
Oh,
some of the
nice.
paper.
Nice.
So we're trying to come up with as many ways. It wasn't actually as much left over as we thought, so.
Kind of at the end of that.
Oh, good.
That's
Yes,
good.
yes, so we're happy about that.
Okay. All right, if there's nothing else that you have to ask Lisa about, we'll move on to the action items. And the first action item is the library bylaws revision. You'll see that on page 63 of your packet.
This is the change that you already looked at last month.
And
But
have-
we just had to have
the
the
time.
correct amount of time.
Yes, for that. That
It's
would be
really
the-
just a format change.
It's the order of
Yes.
business.
And breaking out the action items into unfinished and.
That makes a lot
business.
more sense.
Yeah.
It really does. And then the other, well,
While
6.
splitting the consent agenda, does that become 2 approval items then?
Yes.
When done that way, right? Okay. So they're better.
And I think that makes sense. It always
Right.
bothers me to lump all that,
Right.
you know, so I
Right.
think that makes more sense. And then the committee reports.
As opposed to
written by us,
minutes.
Yes,
Right.
that's the other change. Any other discussion or question on those bylaw revisions?
I move we accept the bylaw revisions as stated.
So moved and seconded. Is there a discussion about that? All in favor of that motion?
Aye.
Those opposing or those abstaining? That motion carries. Then, this is the authorization to fund defense of property tax appeal board cases 13-00150 and 13-00151. And,
Basically, Julie's just asking for authorization in case, you know, it comes to that, all of the organizations come together. And it's based on our percentage of.
Percentage, yeah.
So she is certain that it wouldn't be more than a couple $100, our participation. it certainly would not exceed her $2,500 threshold. She wanted to make sure that you were okay with her proceeding, $2,500. Yes.
So, any discussion on that matter?
We are going with the what, fire district.
Exactly.
School
Right.
district and all of them.
Have all the
taxing-
taxing
all the
bodies,
taxing
and the
bodies,
Plainfield
yeah.
bill sign up, okay.
So that makes sense.
Yes.
And then it's a prorated amount based on your percentage of.
Yeah.
Exactly.
the bill. So, yeah,
Okay,
that makes
so
perfect
all of those in favor of authorizing Julie to fund this defensive property tax appeal board cases? There's a motion to do that.
So,
Second.
Second, all in favor of that? Aye.
It's
Is
money.
It's
It's
money,
money.
yes, okay,
Yes.
money.
All right. Sharon?
Yes.
Patricia?
Yes.
Samantha? Yes. Vicki? Yes. Carl?
Yes.
And Crystal?
It's money that's already been approved.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
But
just
nonetheless.
safe
Still
for that
money,
way,
that's
right?
right. Okay, and we're all meeting next Thursdays, 24th?
Yes, it is.
Are you gonna be able to?
We're not all meeting.
Are you not?
Uh-oh.
I knew you
No.
had a problem.
I do. Well, my problem is being married 15 years
Well,
I think you told us about that last time we met.
Well,
You
I
thought
wasn't
maybe-
sure that my wife could get the day off, but she can. So, yes, we will be otherwise occupied.
just
But
wanna come
I
with
do
us.
have,
Don't you
you
wanna
know,
take her on?
You did the
we
day
thought about
after.
that as the day's activity, but we quickly said no. However,
You quickly said.
I've seen the list and I will make my way over to visit
Okay.
as much of this to be able to provide feedback as well.
Okay, and everyone has seen that schedule and,
Yeah, I'm only gonna be able to go to the Plainfield Library because I'm gonna get off of school for this.
and that's fine, that's, you know, we certainly understand.
How are we traveling?
In vans, your van or your car and
Yes, Julie and I will each be,
two cars?
Okay.
Yeah, so,
I can fit 5, she can fit 8, so I think we're good.
okay, everybody aware of what needs to be done, and I talked a little bit with Julie about the form and the questions, and I said, I really don't have questions, but I want to know whether we like or dislike things, whether it's something our library truly can use and accept, whether it's something that would be viable and welcome in our town, so what, did you have some
Well,
things?
Julie had talked about that, about this grid that you had,
Yeah.
had made. So it's just, it's a quadrant. And, you know, we have like and dislike, will work for us, won't work for us on a quadrant, and you guys can just make notes in there.
For each one of
Great.
those.
For
areas.
each of the separate libraries, you'll have a
Because-
separate form for each of the libraries that we go to.
Sometimes we are.
I think that's really good.
I mentioned to Julie that I said I would like to know what it is that they particularly found was one of the most wonderful ideas that they included.
Okay.
And were there things that they would really have done differently?
Mhm.
And that's always, I mean,
Always
because you're going
standard,
to
but-
hear that.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
That's the one thing you will hear, for sure. So
And
I'm
you-
excited
You
about
can't
that.
ask questions of them
Yeah.
for that, so.
And thank you, Crystal, for coming up with a great idea. It really is.
I'm excited.
And our invited guests.
Yes,
Yes.
the public is coming with
Yes,
us.
right.
We hope you'll enjoy the day too.
And you're getting that helmet cam, right?
Yeah.
So you can broadcast the whole thing live? Okay, good.
Yeah, it's gonna stream live.
So,
So then the next thing is picking the date for the follow-up meeting.
Follow-up.
And these are, Julie sent out an email with the dates, and based on some feedback from, I think Samantha, it looks like we need to be looking at Monday or Tuesday, the 28th or 29th in the evening. You don't want to go too far out, you guys, so that you remember what
You won't
you
remember.
saw.
I'm
so-
not available on the 29th, I already have a
No,
This is
April,
April.
the following Monday,
So this is
it
coming
looks like
up
we're
pretty
looking at
quick.
the 20th, yeah.
The 29th, yes, sounds good, deducted, just not so.
Yeah, I.
The
So it's
28th.
looking like Monday, the
28th.
28th?
Monday, 28th.
I'm unfortunately not available either of those. But I will submit mine anyway.
Does that work for you?
I'm available.
You are?
Yeah.
You are. 28th? Okay.
Should we go with 6:30, or do you want to do 7 o'clock? What are you
That's up to-
folks comfortable with?
What are you comfortable with, Crystal? You need
6:30.
6:30, okay with you?
That's
Okay,
fine.
sure, okay. So it's April 6th. All right, I don't think we need any action on that, except to just set that date.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, we have
Some
the
computers to
PC
buy.
and network switches purchase,
Yes.
excuse me, purchase. So
So
go
what we're,
ahead and
what
tell
we're
us
looking
about
at
it.
is the quote on page 66 and the quote on page 67. We're not gonna go with the Zotac computers. That's our recommendation. We would prefer to go with the option on page 66.
And the reason, there's a reason why.
There's a reason.
Julie was telling me, but now
Yeah.
you need to be the one.
Well, it's for space is mostly the concern. And Lance is gonna mount the towers underneath for us. So it takes up less space, allows people, what we find is a lot of people, as you know, we don't have a lot of place for people to sit down with their computers. So what they do is they sit down with their own laptops. So they sit down where our computers are, they push aside the computer and they set up their laptop. So we're looking at trying to squeeze more space into those carrel spaces out there. Not, because there aren't enough carrels and
Yeah.
seats out there, so people come and sit where the computers are. So we're trying to squeeze a little more into that space. So being able to mount the towers, and these have DVD, essentially what are called DVD drives, so that otherwise we have no other way for people who have discs, CDs and DVDs to be able to play them. If we go with the Zotex, there's no way, we'd have to have external drives, which we can do, but that, again, takes up more space. This saves more space and provides more, and it's well within our allotted budget. We'd set aside $10,000, and there's more than enough to
You have a question?
cover that.
Well, I was just wondering whether we were talking about the possibility of having some that did not have a DVD, but there's another reason.
Yeah,
that
we
did not?
we already have some that do not, and it's.
Okay. So we will have a mix?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yes, we do now.
There are spaces where they just come with their computers.
Yep, and we're actually removing 2 PCs and putting in Macs, because there were a lot of requests for Apple computers, and we haven't been able to do that before, so.
They're going to play nicely?
Well, we'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see, but they should, yeah. But that cost was well below, was within these.
So this, just the 6,199.76 is the cost.
Yes,
That we're looking at.
this is the cost.
Okay.
Any
And these
questions?
are our unit prices listed above here?
Yes,
And they're for 12.
correct.
Questions, Carl or
Um,
Crystal?
I know we're not considering the Zotac bid, but they had several peripherals included as well. Are those just things that we don't need to
Correct.
replace?
Correct.
Okay.
Crystal, okay. Samantha? No.
I like that we're getting Max.
Yeah, yep.
You saw where they were mounted the other night, so.
Yeah.
Those are showing us
Oh,
two
good.
sleepy out the way.
Yeah.
Good. Okay, if there are no other questions.
Do you want to do both of these at the same time, or do you do separate?
The next one.
This is the switches.
So the switches.
This basically is just making our network go faster.
Okay.
And be able to talk between computers, intranet faster, and it's a necessary upgrade. We're going from 1 megabyte, 1 gig to 10 gig.
Ooh, that's a big jump, isn't it?
Yeah.
But that will be only intra, that doesn't affect the
Exactly.
Wi-Fi or anything
Right,
public.
it's only intra.
Okay.
Okay.
So
And
we,
we've dealt with this particular brand
Yes,
before.
yep, yes, and it's.
So they're reliable and have good warranty if we have a problem.
Yes. Absolutely.
we can do this all in one motion, I believe. It's for the PC and the network purchase. The PC purchase is $6,299.76, and the switches are $2,669.94. So a motion to purchase those items.
So motion.
Seconded.
Crystal moves, Carl seconds. This is money, so we will have a roll call.
Vicki?
Yes.
Samantha?
Yes.
Sharon? Yes. Krista?
Yes.
And Carl?
Yes.
Thank you.
Carries. Very good. And we have no need to go to executive session tonight. And, is there anything else anyone wants to talk about? The young people, we'd like to hear from you. What did you learn?
You guys do a lot more than like just the books. Like I didn't think it was like kind of like that. Like I thought you guys just like talked about like books. I don't know.
Libraries are logical.
Yeah, like budgets and all that
So
stuff.
libraries have taken a trend, and the technology is the place.
Yeah.
And we're doing our gosh darn best to, stay up with that in our limited space. So, good observation.
Yeah.
I thought it was very interesting what you guys were talking about with, if I was understanding correctly, you guys are gonna go to other libraries and try to find out what works for them that you guys can bring here.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was a really cool idea. I drew the quadrant with the like and dislike and will work and won't work. I think it's cool that you guys are willing to take your own time to go travel to other libraries and see what you can bring here. I think that's really awesome.
Well, thank you. We try to stay current. In case you don't know, our library is much too small for those 75,000 people that we serve. And so in a few years, we may have to think about going to referendum to build a bigger library. So in looking toward that, then we're going shopping to see what's available in the library world, and is to see, but that doesn't say that we've approved going to referendum. That says that we will go forward in this effort. So thank you. Do you have any comments?
Basically what she said, there was a lot more going on than I would have thought originally.
Good.
It's interesting to see.
We're glad you were here then and found that out. That's a good thing. Thank
And
you
when
for
you get
coming.
older, you can volunteer to work with the library district.
And Deb, will you sign their sheets when they are ready, or do you want one of us to?
I usually do.
Lisa can. That's good. So we'll tell them that you really were here. If there's nothing else, we can adjourn this meeting if we can. Motion to do that.
I move we adjourn.
And everyone will say yes.
Aye.
Very good.